Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss with author L.A. Logan. On today, we're going to do a part 2 of a previous video when I was in the process of making lunch for my family. Making a taco bake. And so I decided to bring you all back to show you how I did it. I was inspired by Eat with Philly Phil. And yeah, we're going to get into it. Are you ready to discuss a few things while watching me cook? Let's get into it. Let's discuss. Okay guys, I want to give you one last look at the ingredients before I get started. I have onions. It's like a half an onion. The recipe called for a medium onion, and I bought a large onion, so I cut half of it. Then it calls for a whole green bell pepper and a whole red bell pepper. So that's what that is. And then the recipe didn't necessarily call for this, but I like to put this in my meat whenever I'm making a Mexican dish. I like to put it in my ground beef. And then these are the seasonings that I'm going to use. I got most of these ideas for as far as seasoning from Eat with Philly Phil. I always use cumin. I've been using that for a while. But the Sazon I've recently added. And then we're going to have calls for corn, calls for beans, calls for sliced olives, taco seasoning, of course your ground beef, and then your cheese. I went ahead and picked up some Velveeta cheese because I wanted to, since I'm going to do a bake, I'm going to bake this. I wanted to have some cheese that was going to melt, that I knew was going to melt really good in the oven. Because again, I'm not a cook like most people who do cooking channels. This is something that I have started doing more because we are in the shelter in place / social distancing, the COVID-19 pandemic. So I'm using what I know as far as cooking goes, because the actual recipe, it's a stovetop recipe where you cook everything on top of the stove and you don't put it in the oven. I'm turning it into a bake just because I was wanting some lasagna and decided, as I was looking for a good lasagna recipe, I came across this recipe and I was like, oh, maybe I can make that into a baked dish. So this is going to be the first time I'm doing that. So anyway, oh, and I got my green tea on deck in my favorite glass. Thanks again, Eat with Philly Phil. So yeah, let's get started. Or should I be saying, okay, LA loves, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to position the camera so you can see my skillet instead of looking at me while I talk. I'm going to try to do both. Again, I am such an amateur at this. I can't even believe that I'm attempting to do this for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my oven, or my skillet oven. Oh gosh, this is already not starting out good. I'm going to try to position this so that you can see what I'm doing, but it may not work because again, this is not what I'm used to doing. And I'm just doing something because I got to cook and I want to talk to you guys, see what all you got going on. So we'll see how this goes. So, okay. So first things first, we're going to add the ground beef. Because I think I showed you all the ingredients. I did that first. So we're going to add the ground beef. And I bought one of these because I was looking for that old school two-prong fork that my grandmother used to cook with all the time, especially when she was frying chicken. I couldn't find those anymore, and I like to use it to mash up my ground beef. And so the only thing I could find was when I went to the store that day was this, And I absolutely love it. And I hate that I can't. Actually, I think I got this at Kroger's. I have to look and see if they have any more, but I swear by it. Absolutely, absolutely swear by it. It's the best thing going as far as breaking up your ground beef. So I've got that going. I like to set my stuff on a little plate. I have, let me show you what it looks like. I have, you know, the things that you use to, hope you can see it. And you know, the time is wrong on my stove. I need to fix that. I really, really do. But anyway, I need to start doing my seasoning. So I'm going to do 2 packs. Try this. I'm not going to use both of them. I'm going to try this one. Again, I got the idea of this from Eat with Philly Phil. She swears by it. And this is going to be my first time using it. And I think she uses 1 pack. So I'm going to use 1 pack. I hope this isn't spicy, because she loves spicy food. And then I need to do my cumin. I have no idea. I don't measure anything. I just put it in there until it looks about right. And I blame my grandmother for that, because I don't think I ever saw her use a measuring cup, spoon, nothing. Some garlic powder. And I got the idea of multiple seasonings from Eat with Philly Phil, because she uses multiple seasonings. I'm not going to use a whole lot of garlic salt, because I learned from her that you don't want your food to be salty. Oh, I forgot pepper. Black pepper. Oh my gosh, this smells so good already. So you want to get that all mixed in together. So what have you guys been up to? What are you having for your meal on today? Whether it be lunch or, oh, that's got a mess. Lunch or dinner, or whenever you're watching this, what did you have? Again, this COVID-19, this shelter in place, social distancing has made me start cooking a lot more. Uber Eats are one of those because of how expensive it is to use it. Now, we have ordered from a couple restaurants because I want to try to support the restaurants. Man, just because a lot of them you can no longer go in to eat. You have to order your food to go. So I try to support them in ordering, so they can just kind of have some type of business still going. I got my green tea with my favorite glass. Thank you, Eat with Philly Phil. So right now I'm just browning the ground beef. And something I forgot to do that I always do, I always rinse my cans off. I know Chillin' with Walt, his fiance Cindy, I think that's her name, I hope I said that right, she rinses her cans off too. And the reason for that is when they're in the warehouse, you know, stacked up, they might have had mice or something crawl across it and may have urinated on it even, and we have no idea. So it's always good to rinse your cans off before you open them, and to wipe them down really good with a paper towel. I hope you guys can see me. I have a lot of cans to rinse off. I should have done that before I got on the video, huh? Well, again, it just shows how much of an amateur I am at this. You know what I mean? Grab a paper towel. Actually, look at, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but look what I got off the top of the can. I'm sure that's just from sitting on the shelf in the warehouse. Or even at the store. You just don't know. Okay, this towel and I are not going to make it. We are not going to make it. This one wasn't bad. Nope, I'm dropping trash. This meat smells so good. If you could smell it with all of the different seasonings that's on it. And I haven't even added the diced tomatoes with jalapenos. I usually would get Rotel, but the store's out of Rotel. I think I told you guys that on the first video. Okay. Gotta drain this oil off. This smells so good already. When I told my daughter asked me what I was making, and I told her I was making a taco bake, she was like, like, what in the world is a taco bake? We're all going to find out together, because again, this is my first time making this, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out. But if the smell of this meat is any indication, oh, it's going to be delicious. Delicious! Now I need to get ready to drain some of this oil off. Okay, so now I need to drain my oil off. Oh, I'm such an amateur. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so this is what I'm going to use to drain my oil off. I know you probably can't see it from that far, but I like to use a strainer to get as much of it off as I can. I guess I could have brought the camera closer. Again, this is not really a cooking video. This is me showing you what I'm making for lunch during my COVID-19. Oh, I forgot to do something. I always like to wipe the side of my skillet off from when the oil runs down on the side, so it doesn't does not smoke from the, what am I trying to say? I like to wipe it down so that it does not smoke because the oil touches the burner. That's what I'm trying to say. So now I just put my first can. I think I'm going to only do 2 cans. This is what I'm adding now. The diced tomatoes. Get that all mixed in really good. I'm going to add my onions. And bell peppers, both red and green. Oh, this smells so good. Beans. Ooh. I hate when I drop stuff on my floor. Added the first can of beans. You can honestly use any type of beans you want for this. This was all the beans that were left on the shelf when I went to the store. So that's why I'm using red kidney beans. Put my hair back into a bigger ponytail. And I probably should have, when I do this again, but I'm going to wait to see how it tastes. I think I'm going to put all of my side ingredients in a separate bowl and season them real good. Another something I learned from Eats with Philly Phil, but for whatever reason I don't remember it this time. Until now. Alright, so I need to add the corn. I'm pouring the juice off the corn because it's already has enough liquid, or I don't know what the right word is I'm looking for. And corn makes water, so I didn't want to add that. And I think I'm going to let this cook on top of the stove for a little bit before I pop it into the oven. just so that all the ingredients and everything can soak in. Oh, this smells so good, guys. Now I gotta change over to a spoon. My little handy dandy tool has done its job. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys this in a minute. It looks so good. I just need to add black olives now. This looks so good. This looks delicious. This is going to be a lot of food, but it's going to be. Okay, let me show you guys what it's looking like before I put it in the oven and I'm going to let it cook down. So this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look delicious? It smells delicious. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up my mess, let this cook down for a little while, sip on my green tea, and I'll bring you back when I get ready to pop it in the oven. So, see you in a bit. Okay guys, we're back, or I'm back, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like now that it's at a boil. And I'm getting ready to put it in the pan to put it in the oven. It smells so good. So this is what my pan looks like. Excuse my napkin. My knife and my Velveeta cheese that I'm going to use. Okay guys, I can't seem to get it to work, but actually this lighting is a lot better. Let me move this out the way so it's not a distraction. And excuse all my stuff I got going on in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first layer on the bottom, I guess. Again, this is a recipe that I found that I'm adding to. I decided I wanted to bake it. This is a dish that the recipe called for it to be done on top of the stove, but I wanted to bake mine instead. Let's see how that works out. And I'm going to show you in just a minute what my bottom layer looks like. And I have my oven preheating to 350. Okay. Oh, I wonder if I should have buttered my pan like Eat What Philly Phil does. this is what my pan looks like. Now I'm going to do my Velveeta. My background is all over the place. Yeah, you can tell I'm an amateur. Okay. I'm getting the Velveeta opened, and I'm just going to slice it and situate it around. And we're going to eat this with tortilla chips. I forgot to show you that. Tortilla chips is going to be how we eat this. And I'm not even really having to touch the cheese. I'm one of those people, I don't like touching on my food if I don't have to while I'm cooking. So I'm just slicing the cheese and it's sticking to the knife, and I'm just laying it in the pan. Well, of course, this one wanted to act crazy, but anyway. And I'm going to show you what it looks like here in a minute. Kind of like if you make homemade macaroni and cheese. I know I make homemade macaroni and cheese. This is kind of how I do it. So, I've just got slices. I hope you guys can see this in the pan. And now I'm gonna put another layer on top. It smells amazing. I might just drain some of this juice off of here and then just dump the pan. It might be quicker than my spooning. This also kind of reminds me of a one of the first dishes that I made as a child when I was in Girl Scouts. We cooked everything on top of the stove. The only thing was we cooked our meat and the veggies and everything all together. We didn't cook the meat separate. And actually, oh, my stove is ready, my oven's ready. And actually this recipe, they did do that. They cooked the meat, the vegetable, they browned the meat and all that together. I don't know about you, but I was always raised that you brown your meat separate. Now, I don't know if there's a thing to that, like if there was a reason, or if it was one of those like old wives' tales or something that was passed down from generation to generation. I heard a joke one time where this lady always cuts the ends of her hem off. And so her husband asked her, why do you always do that? And she was like, I don't know. My mom always did it, so I'm doing it. So they asked the mom, Mom, why did you always do that? She was like, I don't know. Your grandmother always did it, so I did it. So when they asked the grandma why she did it, she was like, oh, because my pan was too short and the hem couldn't fit in there. So that's why I cut the ends off. I thought that was so funny because we don't ever, a lot of times we don't ask questions about why we do certain things. And I never questioned why. I mean, I figured it had something to do with cross-contamination, but it may not, because I know people do it. Like I said, this recipe called for that to happen. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so, anywho, I'm not sure why we brown our ground beef separate from the rest of the meal. But that was just the way that I was raised to do it. And I remember even when I cooked that recipe at home after going through the Girl Scouts, my grandmother was adamant that I could not cook it all together. But I put up such a, I don't want to say a fuss because you don't fuss with your grandparents, but I was adamant about, no, that's not the way they taught us to make it, that she let me do it the way that we were taught to make it. And now that I think about it, I wonder if she even ate any of it. Oh, Lord, memories. So anyway, this is what this looks like, and I'm going to wrap it in foil and put it in the oven, and I will be back to let you see the finished product. So what I'm getting ready to do now is put some sharp cheese on the top. I'm really thinking about draining some of this juice off too. We'll see. This is what I get for trying a recipe and trying to make it my own. I should have did a test run. I should have done a test run. And for the record, I love cheese. Not good. But I love, love, love cheese. Next time, I think I'm going to get some tips from the folks that this is what they do. This is their thing. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to put some foil on it and put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes or so, and I will be back. Okay, guys, we're back. I just took it out of the oven after putting the sharp shredded cheese on and letting it bake for another 20 minutes. And this is what the end result looks like. I should have drained some of that juice off. I think that would have been better. This is a lesson learned. I'm going to plate it now so I can show you what it looks like. Okay. It smells so good. And I'm going to put some more shredded cheese and picante sauce on mine. I'm even thinking about doing some shredded lettuce, so it can be kind of like a taco for real. I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. So give me 1 second. It smells delicious. And again, remember, I am a cheese junkie. And I love picante sauce. I probably shouldn't be showing you guys this because you're probably going to judge me. Oh, I got to get my chips. I should have done all of this before I brought you back. Had all this ready. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you my plated meal. I hope you can see that. I've got lettuce, cheese, picante sauce, my chips, and my glass with my green tea. And so I'm going to, maybe I'll take a taste right now so you guys can get my okay. I'll do a little taste now. My son and I are getting ready to watch a movie, so this is what it looks like. I'm making a mess. Let's see. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Guys, I'm gonna let you go. This is so good. I'm ready to eat. Thank you for entertaining with me the idea of me cooking my lunch with you today as a part of our discussion. Let me know if you decide to try this recipe. I'll try to put what I used in the description. And then if you have any recipes that you're doing, since we're now having to cook for the coronavirus, you know, we can't go out and eat, sit down in a restaurant, put it down in the comments what recipes you've been cooking since we've been on the lockdown, social distancing, quarantine. Let me know what you've made. Maybe I'll try. Maybe we can swap recipes. Maybe that can be our challenge. Let's make that a challenge. Let's swap recipes during this time where you share some of the things that you're making while we're in this situation, and maybe we can try cooking them. Again, I thank you guys for joining in on the discussion. Leave me some comments below what you have going on, what meals you've been making, and just what you've been doing to occupy your time during this social distancing period that we're in. Again, remember to wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Use sanitizer, carry sanitizer with you when you go to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I had my sanitizer strategically placed in my basket and in my purse. I had 2 different bottles, and every time I touched something, I would use it. I put some on my basket. I mean, I was just really trying to be careful. So let's do that, and let's remember to check on each other, and let's definitely increase our prayer time, our prayer life. This is the time to pray. If never before, this is the time that we should be found praying. So yeah, I hope if this is your first time joining in, welcome to my channel. We usually don't do cooking. We're usually just talking, but hey, COVID-19 is making me change the script. What can I say? But welcome. If this isn't your first time, I hope you enjoyed the discussion. If not, oh well, maybe next time. But I do ask that you all click the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. The subscribe button just makes sure you're notified whenever content is loaded to the channel. And I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. Would you help me do that? I know 50 is not a lot, but for me, it is a lot. And I would just appreciate it if you could help me reach that goal. But until then, I want to leave you with this. Remember, the plans for your life have already been designed. It's just up to you to trust the planner. Have a good one, everybody.